how do you actually start praying consistently? Let's talk about it. So I think that if it's like a major challenge for you and it's not just a time thing, then you're going to want to study it. Understand prayer. Like if you don't understand something, it's very hard to connect with it. So for me, one of the first things that I started doing along my journey is I started going and getting books that help me on prayer, right? One of them was by Dr. Miles Monroe. You know, he has a book called Understanding the Purpose and Power of Prayer. Then there's another book. I can't remember the title, but I do remember the author's name, Mike Bickle. His ministry is actually a 24/7 prayer ministry. Like you can go to their website any time of the day and there's somebody praying. It's live stream at 24/7. Like, and this book really helped me to, you know, understand prayer. There have been other books that I've read as well on prayer, but I would say those are the two that really stood out when it came to just better understanding what prayer is, how it works, how to, you know, get the results that I want through prayer, right? So then something else that I learned to help me pray consistently, I learned this through one of my spiritual mentors. And you have to start to collect evidence that the prayer works, because if you don't see that prayer actually works, it's going to be very challenging for most people to stick with it. But like when you getting results, when you're pursuing something, it will just make you, you put that fire in you. You want to keep doing it. And prayer is the same way. So what I started to do was I started to actually record and write down my prayer. Like, okay, I'm praying for this person. I'm praying for this. I write down when I pray for it and I keep praying for it. And I come back and I start to make a second list of answered prayers. And that started to show me that, yo, man, prayer actually works. Like I prayed for this person and this thing happened. I prayed for myself, this situation, and it actually happened. And when I started to see those results, like, yo, it just made me be like, oh, okay, this prayer thing works. Like now I can lock in and, you know, start really getting not just that relationship popping with God, but also starting to bring into reality some of the things that I want to see manifested here in my life and in the life of my family and friends and my loved ones, right? So another way that you can start praying consistently is join a prayer group or a prayer call. So you got prayer groups that will meet like once a week, and that will help you to get to a place where now you're meeting up, y'all praying together. Or you got some people that do prayer calls. Like I know that there are, you know, different ministries that do this. I've seen them out there. They got daily prayer calls early in the morning, 5, 6, you know, maybe that's not your thing getting up that early. You can have some prayer calls that work at a time that works for you. That's another way that, yo, you make it the time to go in there and join that call, join that group, and you start to consistently pray. And I think another thing, like I mentioned in a previous video, when it comes to having a goal in relationships, you need to set goals when it comes to your spiritual as well. And if you have a goal, there's something else that you need, and that's a plan. If you ain't got a goal, if you say you got a goal, but you ain't got a plan, you ain't got a goal. You got to wish. You hear me? You got to wish. So in order for it to become a goal, you need to create a plan. So if your goal in this instance is to pray consistently, right? That's what you want to do. Then you have to create a prayer plan of how you're going to do it. That means determining how many times a day are you going to pray? You know, who are you going to pray with? Is it going to be by yourself? Is it going to be, you know, like, with a group on a call? Where are you going to pray? Like, are you going to pray, you know, in your home, in the car, while you're on your way, traveling, doing, like, you make a plan of how you're going to do it, and then you can execute the plan, and eventually you'll get the results that you need. And ultimately, how you pray consistently, you got to just show up. And if you're unable to show up based on just the fact that, yo, I'm locked in and I'm in prayer mode, then schedule it. You may need to actually put it on the calendar and say, at this time, I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to pray. And this is where having a prayer group or a call happens, especially because now you are being held accountable to show up to those groups, show up to those calls, and you got to get that on the calendar. So now you got that designated time locked in.